is January 29th, 2020, and this is UAP Review. One benefit to suffering the legitimate challenges and other attacks associated with an interest in ufology is the detailed knowledge one will acquire in science, history, scripture, and research techniques just to investigate select cases and broader theories. Should a certain unidentified case become genuinely resolved to a mundane cause, like ball lightning or a military test aircraft, the information learned still proves to be of value elsewhere. This observation fits with the proposition that humans are being deliberately placed into artificial conflicts so as to accelerate their technical development. One benefit of being an instructor pilot is that one learns unique local history in different parts of the nation. One example is the graveyard of the Atlantic Museum on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Students wishing to see the exhibit there on Billy Mitchell will also encounter the story of the Schooner Carroll A. From 1921, this is one of the earliest ghost ship stories that was used to build the popular lore of the Bermuda Triangle. On return from the Outer Banks, pilot skeptics and believers alike might do some research on the Bermuda Triangle to find a summary Wikipedia article that uses some very dismissive language that would dissuade most from ever finding the information glaringly omitted from its presentation. Let's take a look from a pilot's perspective. Within 3 years after Flight 19 had disappeared in December 1945, 2 British airliners had also vanished. An Avro Tudor Mark IV-B passenger aircraft known as the Star Ariel vanished en route to Kingston, Jamaica from Bermuda on January 17, 1949. On the 24th of January, official Air Force records show that a crew was dispatched from Kinley Air Force Base, Bermuda, to look for it. There is no mention of this search sortie or what it encountered in Wikipedia's articles on Star Ariel or on the Bermuda Triangle article, or even in the underlying discussion tabs. Official Air Force records collected under Project Sign, Grudge, and Blue Book show that Air Force pilot Captain Marsden Madatall and co-pilot First Lieutenant Frank Stockton with the 373rd Very Long Range Weather Reconnaissance Squadron were flying Hurricane Hattie, a photo recon-equipped RB-29 Super Fortress that would have normally been outfitted with filters for atomic detection service. When 250 miles southwest of Bermuda at 1,500 feet, the RB-29 crew observed a red glow on the ocean 1 to 1.5 miles in size, extending up to 3,000 feet altitude, with 2 white search-like beams of light within the red glow. At 12:25 a.m., the RB-29 turned toward the light, and by 12:40 a.m. approached so close at 6,000 feet altitude that Captain Madatall felt the need to make a sharp bank to avoid a collision. In their haste to depart on the search mission for Star Ariel, the crew failed to bring the standard nuclear fallout filter paper and were unable to sample the air around the red glow. So, Captain Madatall circled the glow from all directions for a total of 44 minutes as it slowly moved westward. The crew finally departed the area at 1:24 a.m., and during the descent to landing at Kinley Air Force Base, they reported that the red glow was still visible. In total, the crew took 15 photos with a Fairchild K20 camera set at 1/125th seconds and f-stop 4.5 aperture, but this sensitivity was unable to capture any of the red light. A second RB-29 with the necessary fallout filters visited the coordinates at 11 a.m. on the 24th, but the results of this sampling were never reported. AMC Intelligence Department Chief Colonel William R. Klingerman ordered all references to filtering deleted from sighting reports, as this would unnecessarily disclose classified Air Force operations, a reference to modern-day sources and methods. The Soviets would detonate their first atom bomb later that year, on August 29th, and this was detected in the filter sample of a U.S. Air Force WB-29 en route from Misawa Air Force Base, Japan, to Eielson Air Force Base, Alaska, on September 3, 1949. According to the Star Aerial Wikipedia article, the search had been abandoned on January 23rd, but the Air Force records show that RB-29 Hurricane Hattie returned on the early morning of the 24th, and a second aircrew had been sortied. In conclusion, does this prove that there's an underwater base in the Bermuda Triangle? No, of course not. This presentation only proves that not all information has been openly shared with the public, and that many skeptical narratives have drawn their conclusions with the omission of this official Air Force record on a very unusual aerial and ocean phenomenon.